Yeah, that's the way.
D12.
Other people wishing me bad, get them away. Other people wishing my downfall, get them slow way. Get them away. Yeah. Baba people, get them slow way. Yeah. You swat destroy their plans. Wicked people, clip or destroy their plans. I send them fire, 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 yeah. Spray them holy water, yeah. Enemies in my family, enemies in my school, enemies at my job site, enemies everywhere, enemies in my backyard. Every day them playing me juju. Other people wishing me bad, get them away. Other people wishing my downfall, get them slow way. Get them away. Yeah. Baba people, get them slow way. Yeah. When I show face, Baba people running away. When I show face, wicked people hiding their face. When I show face, it's a body 12 on the beat, making the people them feeling the heat. The 12 on the beat, making the people them stomping the beat. I make it hot like a fire. I'm not cursing desire. Bring my bottle of Hennessy, like the Jew don't whine it for me. Let them juggle for me, yeah. Other people wishing me bad, get them away. Other people wishing my downfall, get them slow way. Get them away. Yeah. Baba people, get them slow way. Yeah.
I say the papi not do it for the boy. I say the woman not do it for the boy. I say the papi not do it for the boy. I say the woman not do it for the boy. I say the papi not do it for the boy.
Moving backward, yeah.
Do it for the boy. I say the papi
No
not
more
do it for the boy.
going backward, yeah. Enemies in my family, enemies in my school, enemies at my job site, enemies everywhere. I send them fire, 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 yeah. Send them holy water, yeah.
Bring them holy water, yeah.
Other people wishing me bad, get them away. Other people wishing my downfall, get them slow way. Get them away. Yeah. Baba people, get them slow way. Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how are you out there? And on Facebook, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. This is Munel Kishan, the General himself. Today I got with me two members from the ANC, and we'll be discussing the ANC program in Philadelphia. I got with me on my right is Anthony Gay, chairman of the ANC Delaware Valley. And on my left, I got my brother and friend. He's a very strong businessman. His name is J. Christian Wa. We call him JY. He's on my left, and they are in a hot seat today. But I want to make this clear to everyone that, listen, I am not a member of ANC. I supported Cummings, and this network, the LRTN, sponsored by the Sharing Foundation, has nothing to do with this interview. I only air the general program on the on LRTN. So my support for Cummings has nothing to do with what we are discussing today, because I'm going to be fair with the Liberian people, and I will allow them to explain, and they will be able to convince people why you think we should be part of this program that will be held in Philadelphia. Cummings is a Liberian, a very strong man, a businessman, a guy who is very successful. We all know about it. You can read about it. But the fact is that we want to hear from the horse's mouth, and they will be willing to tell you guys. And we'll also take questions from you guys. The phone lines will be open, but not now. So for now, I want to say thanks to watching, and also to the LRTN and behind The brain of LRTN is the man called Joseph Anderson. We want to say thank you. And so let's start this program. Let us have a nice time. Please reduce the insults. You can say whatsoever, but please let us be very respectful. I don't want to block you or sentence you. That's how I consider to be. So this is the general himself, Munel Kishen, and we'll be on topic. So I will start with my friend and brother. Mr. Wa, how are you today?
Good afternoon, Mr. Kishen. How are you?
Okay, it's nice talking to you. But I want to take a minute, and I want you to introduce yourself. Some people don't know. People know you by JWA, but what you do and how your connection with ANC. So I give you the time.
Good afternoon, my fellow Liberians. My name is James Christian Wa Sr. I am a Liberian. I am a businessman and a philanthropist. My passion with the ANC is not just to be affiliated or associated with a political party. I am looking at the abilities, the skills required to move Liberia forward. And I am very excited that we have such a distinguished gentleman in Mr. Alexander B. Cummings to head this vision. And I look forward to working with the ANC to make sure that Liberia is recognized as the first and oldest independent African nation. Thank you, Mr. Kishen.
Thank you very much, and Mr. Wa. And on my right here is a very young man, a technician, but this man is a politician. You know, he has his own talk show. He's always on the internet, but he's the chairman. Just imagine. I asked myself, why a young man with all the grown-ups, all the older guys, he was elected as chairman of this place. But you know, I always say this, the age of Methuselah has nothing to do with the wisdom of Solomon. So, Mr. Gay, you got the floor. Tell the people who you are. Tell them.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kishen. As you are well known in the community, the general, you can see the 2 star on your hat right there.
Thank you.
Yes, as you regularly said, I am a blogger, I am a politician, I am a humanitarian, I have my own talk show. At times I be on. But many a time I also, take a step back to observe what is unfolding. But before I go further, before I introduce who I am, I first of all want to register my deepest condolences to one of the fallen heroes of our nation, in Councilor Bronsky, who just left us. He was an astute lawyer and a man of integrity. So I just want to register that first before we go further. Our nation is mourning. So with the moment right now, we just want to reflect on that as well. Having said that, my name is Anthony Gay. Very well known in the tri-state area here. Professional-wise, I work in the telecommunication business now for quite some time, over a decade now. But I also, have a passion in politics. Why the ANC? I came across to know Mr. Alexander B. Cummings prior to him joining the ANC. And when I found out that ANC was a party that I really researched for quite some time before I even made the decision to join the ANC. And I also want to correct something. I was not elected chairman, but I was appointed chairman. Just for the record. And I don't know why they picked me, but a lot of grown, well-respected men and women in this Delaware Valley felt the need that I should take on the leadership. And I'm very grateful to them. I think they are well qualified than I am, but they'll bestow that trust in me. And for that, I'm not going to take that any lightly. I'm very grateful, and I want to use the opportunity to learn from their expertise. And that's why we have Mr. J.Y. As well as a senior advisor and a mentor, and people who are surrounded by. That's why I'm grateful to lead in this role. So thanks for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Let's get into this thing here. I want you to tell me a little bit, and before I get to my brother, because a lot of things coming through my mind concerning ANC. Why ANC? And tell me a little bit about this ANC-USA. I heard about it before, and yes, I supported Cummings in the past elections, but you know, and I am not a member of ANC. I'm a member of the Liberian community. It's all about Liberia. It's all about Liberians. So I don't put friendship over when it comes to Liberia. But tell me a little bit about ANC-USA. Why ANC-USA? What brought up, what came up with that idea? What are your role? What you do for ANC? What are you doing for the people in Liberia? What the function of this group?
So the ANC-USA is actually the grassroots part of the party, and also the humanitarian group of the party. The ANC-USA actually gave birth to ANC Liberia. ANC-USA came into being in 2013. This ANC-USA, been in existence since 2013, was then headed by Mr. Ed Huffman, who was then the chairman of ANC-USA. Like I said earlier, that I did some research. Part of the reason why I joined the ANC, because I've been searching for an alternative group in Liberia who ideology and way of doing things kind of suit what I am. Pragmatic, straight focus, and people who accept all group of people, all walks of life are represented in the ANC. As you can see, I'm from the Southeast, a no-name person from Liberia, but yeah, I'm well respected, I'm well treated, and ANC has a long way to go. We have a lot of things that more people don't know, and those things will be on full today here on your show and as we go along.
Okay. So this ANC-USA, are they legal, registered in this country?
Absolutely.
Got bank account that the money is not going into somebody's pocket?
Absolutely. We are registered. We have a bylaw and constitution. We have a national leadership. We have a bank account and also a PayPal account that is linked to that as well. Yes, we have an account. Registered institution by law in the United States.
Okay. And I got my friend here on my left, and JY. Everybody know the name JY. I noticed something about ANC Global. So I got confused. ANC Global, but I know you are a member of the ANC Global.
That is absolutely correct.
So,
I am a member of the ANC Global.
What I got again, you also an advisor to the ANC-USA.
That is absolutely correct.
Okay, good.
Also.
So tell me about this ANC Global. What? Because I'm a little confused. ANC-USA, ANC Global, but they're based in America. But or they got branches all over the place in different countries.
Okay, so ANC-USA is a 501c3 entity, and as such, they are limited in solicitation of fundings or objectivity for that matter. They cannot be subjective in terms of getting involved with direct politics. So they will contribute through humanitarian means to the needs of Liberians. I believe that they already have a facility that is completely being financed by the ANC-USA in Liberia. So this is an important group that will provide the necessity such as medical supplies or educational materials to benefit Liberia. They are limited, like I said earlier, in the amount of money that they can solicit. ANC Global, on the other hand, is responsible for the coordination and fundraising globally for the entire ANC operations. And they are not limited in the amount of soliciting that they may engage in. But the objective of both entities is to move Liberia forward so that all Liberians benefit from the resources of Liberia and all Liberians are given the opportunity, irrespective of friendship or tribalism or fame or anything that will impede the progress of Liberia. So those are the perspectives and the objectives of ANC-USA and ANC Global. But I can assure you that we are one entity working towards the goal of a better Liberia. Thank you.
So, who's the president of ANC Global?
I do not think that we have a president. I think we have a chairman,
Okay.
which is Mr. Passaway. I understand.
And based where? Which of the state is in?
I think maybe Virginia. I'm not too sure of
Is
that.
that in Atlanta?
Whether it's Atlanta or Virginia, I'm not too
You
sure.
know, I'm asking the question because people believe that Liberians in Atlanta got more influence with Cummings because Cummings live in Atlanta, eh? So everybody say that, oh, the people in Atlanta, they got Cummings to themselves. So that's why I asked the question.
No.
But one of the things, I want you to, before we go to my friend, I was in Liberia for 4 to 5 months. And I visited 17 districts, and I heard people complaining. The common man out there, they say the people in Liberia are the one that are messing Cummings up. They don't have the opportunity to talk to Cummings, the little man. Because you see, when election time is coming, that's the only opportunity they have to give you a bump, to give you a handshake. They say the people in America take themselves different from them. They believe that, oh, they are educated in America, they got the opportunity. So the people in Liberia are nothing. So you are fooling yourself because they are the real voters. What you think that ANC did that they could do better this time around?
Okay. Thank you very much. So I want to appeal to the people of Liberia to understand that Liberia should be very far. In politics, on this level, the kind of political independence that we have now is new to Liberia. So we should not look at political parties in a rock solid form that nothing at all is going to sway you away from a political party. Political party, even the names are abstract. When the leader or certain leaders of a political party leaves, that political party has no significance anymore. So people should not say, oh, well, I'm so dedicated to CDC, or I'm so dedicated to ANC, or I'm so dedicated to UP or LP or whatever. You should look at what it is that the leadership is going to bring to the table to benefit all Liberians. Okay? And now, to be specific about your question, I observe that the people in Liberia need to listen to other Liberians. Nobody knows everything. So you do not need to be subjective and think that we feel we know everything because we're coming from America. We want you to listen to us. And so we will listen to you and we will learn from one another. You do not have to like a person to be able to vote for that person. As long as what the person is doing is going to benefit you more than your friend or more than somebody that got fame. And do not just listen and join a person or a party just because of friendship or because you feel that you need to be part of a political party. Always make sure you hold your party leaders accountable for what they're doing so that in the end, it benefits all Liberians. Now, ANC-USA in Liberia, what we did was that we did not engage in the grassroots activities.
So that's one of the mistakes.
That was significant, a significant mistake. We did not engage in the grassroots activities. What do I mean by that? For example, Mr. Cummings had to walk from one end of a district all the way to the other end of a district. And it takes him 2 minutes to shake this person's hand, 1 minute to talk to this person, 2 minutes to approach this other person as he's walking. That is not effective. You cannot talk to a Liberian that do not understand the intricacies of what is going on in the political environment and talk to him 1 minute and say, well, my name is Mr. Cummings, I'm running for president, so, please vote for me. He do not understand the details. But instead, if we had sent a team in earlier to that district to go to door, speak to the people about what Mr. Cummings stands for and his vision, then have him come and assemble in a community square, that would have been more effective. His message would have resonated and given him more time to speak to the people so that they can understand his vision for Liberia. This is a man that has the ability to move Liberia forward. Okay, so we're going to look into changing that perspective and engaging the people more effectively next time. Good. Thank you.
Okay, let me switch over to my brother in the front. You know, people say things that, like, oh, my ANC is the same CDC. They say CDC, people left from CDC, the disgruntled members left CDC, and they are in ANC. What is the difference to distinguish the two groups, the ANC and the CDC? Because I noticed what his name, the former chairman was once a member in CDC.
Chairman Gould, yeah.
Gould was a member, and other guys. So tell me how can you distinguish yourself from there? Because what you want to tell the people about that?
So that narrative has been spewed out there so often, and I would say clearly that the sole purpose for the ANC is because the fundamental reason of forming the ANC is because the original motive of forming a CDC was driven away, and so those people who founded the ANC felt as though they weren't going to allow their fundamental core of forming the party to be buried. So that's the reason why they moved away to form the alternative. The alternative is to make every Liberian to have an opportunity to strive, not making everyone rich, but making everyone to be able to afford. For instance, if a woman or a man can send his or her child to school, pay for their well-being, that's all they want. But at that point, the party realized that it was not going that way. So the alternative, that's why it's called alternative, and it's also mimicked after ANC from South Africa, if you want to know why. So that group came about forming this alternative. This alternative is forming an institution. So if Mr. Cummings had left this party today, or if his term is over, another person also can come into place. So often we found out that if a political party go for election, whether they win or loses, that political party fade off the map. No one sees that political party anymore. This is not the case with the ANC. ANC is building an institution that will last for a long period of time. And the ANC sees every Liberian as important. Now, like my senior brother said, we did not have the opportunity to have, explain to Liberians who Mr. Cummings truly was at the time during the 2017 election. So many people really didn't get to know him, and the time was very short. So this time around, we have done our homework, seeing places that we have some missteps, and we will correct those missteps along the way so people can know who he is. And part of the reason why we are bringing him to Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is one of the areas in the diaspora that have a huge Liberian population, apart from African population, but a very huge Liberian population. And so people will have an opportunity to have a sit down with him. People will have an opportunity to directly ask him a question. What they feel, what they heard about him, what they want to hear from him, and what are their expectations. All of those things will come into play. So to suggest that ANC is CDC, that's a myth.
Okay, another thing is that, in Liberia, we know for a fact that candidates are attached to a party in a sense, like CDC. George Weah is CDC, CDC is George Weah. Ellen Johnson, Unity Party, Ellen Johnson. And like ANC, You are telling me that it's not the case where without Cummings, ANC will fall. If Cummings is not around, if Cummings decide to leave today, I'm done. You think ANC is in a position to bring somebody in?
Absolutely.
Qualified people who would take that step and say, listen, I'll put my foot in there?
Absolutely. And that is the reason why ANC has opened up the party, that every Liberian can come and join this ANC. Because this is not my party thing. Mr. Cummings is not going around saying, without me, nothing can happen here. He's building a consensus, building this leadership role that every Liberian will have an opportunity to come and exercise his all God-given potentials. And that's the reason why we are inviting every Liberian to come to the ANC. But part of the reason, if you come to the ANC, you should also understand that there are rules and regulations within the party that we should all abide by. And so,
okay, I will take a 2 minutes break.
Okay.
And we'll be coming back after the short commercial, and maybe 30 seconds or 1 minute, be back on air. So guys, just stand by, share this video. Please let everybody know I'm sitting here with my 2 friends from ANC, and they are in the hot seat. We will ask all necessary questions. Questions that will benefit the Liberian people.
absolutely.
So just stand by and listen to our nice African song. Thank you.
P2Y2, Jesus' son. Vivian,
oh,
just praise on the beat.
oh my God.
My soul cry out to you, oh God.
You my rock, Papa, you are my strength. Hey, my strong tower, you cover me with your wings. I give you the glory. Your blessing forever, I will receive it. Hey God, my defender, my strong tower, you never been like me. You got me in your place, so I will shout amen. Praise the Lord, I will say, truly my soul, truly my soul, I will wait upon God. From He come at my salvation. Truly my soul, truly my soul, I will wait upon God. From He come at my salvation. Blessing me, God. You've been blessing me, God. Every day, Baba, yeah, you never fail. I give you the glory. Your blessings forever, I will receive it. My defender, my strong tower, you never think like me. You got me in your place, so I will shout amen. Hallelujah, yeah. And that's why I thank you for everything. Yeah. Truly my soul, truly my soul, yeah. I will wait upon God. I will wait upon God. For He come at my salvation. Truly my soul.
Okay, thanks for coming back, and we are back from commercial. And I said I got with me in studio here, in a nice office of our friend and brother, and Mr. Y. Thanks for allowing us in your place, I want to say. But, and let me go back to the chairman. I want to say you the chairman of the program that will be held when on the
December 7th,
December 7th, and Cummings will be coming to Philadelphia. You know, Philadelphia actually got the highest amount of Liberians so far. I thought it was Minnesota, but it's Philadelphia. You know, Philadelphia, when it comes to Philadelphia, is very controversial. Absolutely. People say Philadelphia got a lot of seditions. So I want you to tell me, give us the activities, what's going to happen on that day, and are you prepared, or Cummings prepared that he would come across people who would tell him things that he might not want to hear? As a leader, you think you don't have thin skin?
No, I'm very proud, and especially politically, because Mr. Cummings is not a politician by nature. He's an accomplished businessman. But I can say right now with confidence, looking at the camera and say, politically, Mr. Cummings have gained ground or have improved or have matured into the political arena, wherein he feels he's very comfortable, answering questions. He doesn't shy away. He even walk to the crowd. And Mr. Cummings has been to the Philadelphia before, and he will be here again. We have with up here, and thanks even to Aki, we have with up, our poster, that have been placed around the Philadelphia area, churches, business center as well. But yes, Philadelphia is a very tough terrain if it comes to politics. Many politicians are afraid of Philadelphia, especially they feel as though the place is very rough. The ground is being projected as CDC ground, and so many other people who are a non-member of CDC don't find it very easy to be here. But Mr. Cummings has been here, and I think part of the reason why we want to have Mr. Cummings here, and December 7th is actually his birthday, and we are grateful to share his birthday with us, and so that people will have the opportunity, because the narrative is out there that Mr. Cummings is out of touch with the everyday Liberian, and so to debunk that narrative, that's why we schedule this event, so that Mr. Cummings can meet the everyday Liberian. Most often people say, "Oh, that only elite Liberian can go to Mr. Cummings events." So he's going to be in the Philadelphia area, and people in the entire East Coast, not just the Philadelphia, not just the Delaware Valley, but the entire East Coast, starting from me all the way here to the Virginia area. You are very welcome. You are a member of ANC Global. If you are a member of the CPP, that is the Unity Party, the ALP, the Liberty Party, the ANC members, you are all welcome. Even if you are non-politicians, but you are concerned Liberian or businessmen and women, you are all welcome. So businessmen and women will also have a moment with Mr. Cummings as well to discuss. There will also be a town hall section and also a mini dinner. So there will be very, very important things being discussed at that event. So we encourage every Liberian to come.
So you're also like a fundraiser?
Yes,
You'll be raising funds.
We will be raising funds because politics.
So they do not free? I mean, for us, we'll come.
So we just have a little, price. When you pay that price, automatically you will get served. But if you also are led, also want to get extra donation, we'll really appreciate it. Because we cannot do the work of politics in Liberia without money. The terrain is challenging. We got to be able to reach people in the very locale of Liberia, the demographic of Liberia, and we want to have everyone to have the opportunity to meet Mr. Cummings. So that's the reason why we're starting this thing very early. And our key focus, and Mr. Cummings said it in his last podcast, is that we want to focus on the 2020 first. What that performance of the 2020 will determine our 2023 chances in the election.
So you sure that this program will really be on time? Because I know McCombs is a man who respect time.
Absolutely.
Is this a 1 hour, 2 hours town hall meeting that people will ask the question? Nobody going to leave from there complaining, "Oh, I went over there, they stopped me because I'm a seditious or I'm from this other party." You think people are going to really have a fair share of time with him?
Absolutely. Everyone, let's just be honest, everybody will not ask question depending on the crowd size, but majority of the people will have the opportunity. And if somebody has asked a question that you try to ask, we will tell you not to ask that question because it will be but it will be very coordinated. It will be well structured where almost everyone may have a chance to ask the question.
So how far you think you've gone so far with your publicity before I come to Mr. Y on this? And let me just switch it over to you, and Mr. Y. You are an advisor to this group.
Correct.
Okay, and on preparation wise, are you part of it to know what's really going on the ground concerning preparation? That you guys are doing everything is in place?
That is correct. That is absolutely correct. We are ready and we are excited to welcome Mr. Cummings, and we're looking forward to that. If you see here, we have a price structure here. VIP patron, it's going to be only $50, and ordinary is going to be $25. So the funding and the contributions will be necessary to implement the kind of policies for the Liberian people to understand clearly we want to reach all of Liberia in rural areas. So the contribution will be significant in that perspective. Thank you.
And another thing that just came to mind. You know, when the election started, everybody said Cummings, nobody knew him. Who is Cummings? Because we Liberians will believe that you should do something for Liberians. People say Liberia, but I still want to be, you got to do it for me.
Yes.
Then I know that you did something.
Absolutely.
Some people say, oh, during the war, Cummings never show up, he never brought rice, we never, Liberian people now, our stomach.
Yeah.
We complain, but this is not a rocket scientist thing. But if I believe within myself that if you check it, according to my research before coming here, Cummings is the only candidate at the time I visited 73 district in our election. I got that from the NEC office.
Yeah.
That visited 73 because the entire country has 73 district.
Yeah.
And also he spent the most money when it comes to giving to organization. And tell me something before I get on. He paid white fee.
Yes.
So tell me about, because everybody talking about government paying white fee. You have any idea on that? That actually he paid for white for our students before even government start making the payment?
That is absolutely correct. Through the Cummings Foundation, Mr. Cummings contributed significantly to paying the wide fee for many Liberians, and also have been involved with providing scholarships for many Liberians. This is a quiet guy that do not say what he does for people. You know, he don't dwell on those kinds of things. But Mr. Cummings has made significant contribution in all aspects of the lives of Liberia, quietly. And do not be fooled by his quiet demeanor and stuff like that. This is a lion when it comes to policies. Because, look, Liberians, put partisan aside. We want to put the best for Liberia forward. This is a distinguished gentleman of the highest echelon, of the highest esteem intellectually, that the people, big companies on the international level respects. And I just want to elaborate a little bit about, people think that Mr. Cummings do not have experience in public service.
Yes.
Look, Coca-Cola is one of the biggest and most significant companies in the world. It is not just about selling Coca-Cola. To be in charge of the entire Coca-Cola Africa entails public service at the highest level, meeting with different officials, government regulations, policies, and convincing them, dealing with different departments, multiple departments, technology, education, benefits. All of these include public interaction, and this is a very savvy intellectual in Mr. Alexander Cummings. So for those of you that feel that Mr. Cummings do not have public service experience, you should reconsider, because he has a vast arsenal of skills in the public service sector. And not only that, they did not only make him in charge of the entire Africa. They looked at his abilities and they said, no, we got to do more. They made him senior vice president for the entire Coca-Cola in the whole world. That is significant. We must pay attention to that kind of accomplishment for a Liberian. And if others can see that, then we should see that as well, to put this man in charge of our country with the integrity and the honesty, so he can move our country forward and give opportunity to all Liberians for a successful Liberia. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That was before we go to break. I know my producer is mad at me right now, but and I want to come to you, and I just want you to elaborate. Just give me 30 seconds.
Yes.
About comments, just add something on it because I can see you that you want to add something.
Absolutely. And just to piggyback what he said about Mr. Cummings, he doesn't like too much of a recognition. He doesn't like, oh, I did this, I did that. He doesn't like those things. He likes his action to speak for itself. The reason why the nickname Talking Dude came about in Liberia is because people saw what he has done. Many projects through his Cummings Africa Foundation that have been taking place across 7 different counties in Liberia: Bomi, Lofa, Nimba, hand pump projects, water purification projects, and you talk about supplying medical supply to 6 different government-run hospitals. I mean, he received the highest honor of humanitarian award from President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in 2011. That in itself, if anyone questions what has he done for the country, you will not receive humanitarian award if you didn't do anything.
Okay, we'll go back to break, but when we come back, I will let you guys understand that politics is not church. It's not religion. In church, you give your tithe and you try to keep it to yourself. Mm-hmm. But politics is there. So we'll come back. We're going to take a 30 seconds or 1 minute break, and we'll be back with my 2 gentlemen here in a hot seat, and I'm going to be very tough because we're getting there step by step. Thank you very much.
Yeah. D12. She got the juice, she got the sauce. Give me some juice, give me some sauce. She got the juice, she got the sauce. She got the juice, she got the sauce. Oh yeah. The woman wear designer. She got umma, she wear fake ya. She got the sauce. Frat you, wear umma. She got the sauce. Salute you, baby. Salute. She got the juice, she got the sauce. You got the juice, you got the juice, you got the sauce. Give me some juice, give me some juice, give me some sauce. She got the juice, she got the juice, she got the sauce. Give me some juice, give me some juice, give me some sauce. Oh, I give them a farmer. Ela kapagizi zunu ya. Gala mama ibama ibama. Oh, Twazian awalaba. Twalio awalaba. Kwamana awalaba. She got the juice, she got the sauce. You got the juice, you got the juice, you got the sauce. Give me some juice, give me some juice, give me some sauce. She got the juice, she got the juice, she got the sauce. Give me some juice, give me some juice, give me some sauce. Oh yeah. The woman wear designer. She got umma, she wear fake ya. Frat you, wear umma. Salute you, baby. Salute you, baby. Salute you, baby. You got a body, I will get it, ma. She telling me she don't need my mind. Rihanna body, I will get it, ma. Rihanna body, I will get it, ma. Baby, you too fine, you too fine. I know you sexy and you too nice, oh. You got the juice, you got the sauce.
Okay, thanks guys for coming back, and we still in this conversation with members of ANC, And I want to make this clear again. I support your comments, but I'm not a member of ANC, and this network has nothing to do with what we are discussing here. This network is operated by the Sharing Foundation. There's a Liberian thing, so everyone is free to get on this network. I'm just airing the general show on the LRT, and it's a Liberian thing. And we also register, we are in Liberia. So we do a lot of stuff. Let me just give a quick promo. We do a lot of stuff. We do weddings, we do funerals, we do anything you can think about. And also, be a part of it. So thank you very much again. Thanks, guys. And I was saying that politics is not religion.
Absolutely.
Like my brother said, Cummings is a quiet guy. You think Liberians, one of you guys answer, you think Liberians really waiting or we want to see a quiet president? Very quiet.
I think that
You think I want to look at the quietness or his action? Which one do you think they should look at?
Liberia needs an effective president.
Absolutely.
The person being quiet doesn't mean that the policies are not straightforward. So do not misconstrue being quiet with being effective. And as such, Mr. Cummings is very effective while being quiet. We will endeavor to make sure that his accomplishments are known to every Liberian on a significant scale at this time.
And another thing is that, Cummings, during the election, he said that he was not going to take salary for 2 years. And
No,
he
the
wanted-
first term.
The first term.
Mhm.
And he wanted his money to go to anti-corruption, something.
He listed a few other things, including rehabilitating, those people in Liberia we call Zocos today, for those people to be rehabilitated and be brought back into society, to be productive citizens of the society. So the withholding, the salary for the presidency for the first 6 years was going to create avenue for vocational training, for rehabilitating, our brothers and sisters in the street today called Zocos in Liberia. I hate to use that word, however, but that's the name they are giving in Liberia, to also create opportunity for early child education and adult education. You will find a lot of adults who want to go to school in Liberia. They feel ashamed. They feel, that no one's going to regard them. And also the challenges are there that the resources are not provided to them. In the great United States, there are adult education. In developed world, there are adult education. Those people who did not have the opportunity to have gone to school during the early time in years, now can have an opportunity to go to school. So that's the reason why he said the first term he was going to use that salary to impact lives in Liberia.
Okay. And the number will be put on the screen for people who want to call. And we expect you, when you make your call, please don't spend more time explaining. We want you to ask a question. They are open for questions, because not everything I can say that I brought onto this table will get a lot of unfinished business to turn to. But Cummings used a word the other day.
Mm-hmm.
He said his administration, if he will be president, is hard work, law and order.
Yes.
Do you want to speak on that?
Absolutely. In especially Liberia, let me speak about Liberia. More often, people are not rewarded for the hard work. In the urban or in the developed world that you and I here, we are rewarded for our hard work. Most often, we reward bad behavior in Africa. And Mr. Cummings wants to have a flip of that narrative, of that mindset, that people be rewarded for the good deeds that they have done. So there will be competition, that people will do the right thing. And that's why he was speaking to. You want to reward people for good behavior, come to work on time, you are diligent to your workplace, you treat your job very seriously, you will be rewarded.
So that means even if a janitor, he should be respected in his field.
Absolutely.
And should get paid.
Absolutely.
As a janitor. So which is fair enough.
Fair enough.
Not to, okay.
We have this, and let me just say, we have this narrative in Liberia where we talk down on people because the man does not have an office, because he's a janitor, or because he work as a security guy. He doesn't have respect. It's not the other way around. So part of the benefit that we Liberians will get from Mr. Cummings is because of all of the expertise he had from the foreign nation that he worked in, and the United States being the last place. Security officer is regarded in this country, my brother. You don't just talk down a security officer. When you're doing something, as soon as you hear the word security, what happens? Everybody comes to a standstill. So why can't we do the same in Liberia? He has a saying that when people arrive at RIA, all the discipline that they have just slip their mind or go through the breeze. We don't want that in Liberia. So that's why Mr. Cummings will be a perfect fit for
Okay,
us.
we'll be opening the lines in 2 minutes, and from now we'll be opening the lines. And something that people said about Cummings, that Cummings refused what they say now. Refused to work with George Weah. He was asked on so many occasions, he need to be a senator, he need to do this, he need to do that. What you're saying, what you saying about this whole thing about George Weah refusing to help George, and I'm sorry, Cummings refused, and he refusing to help George Weah. As an opposition, I don't know. But you maybe you might be, maybe you got the information. George Weah ever reached out to you guys? The president ever reached out to Cummings and said, listen, I want to talk to you, or they have a dinner and see how best we can put Liberia things on the table?
I personally asked that question to Mr. Cummings when we had a second teleconference after the election. And I posed a question. I said, have you received any official communication from the Weah administration during the transition that that solicits your participation in the leadership? He said no. He said if that happens, he will be for the wedding. And after that, when Sam Mane was the press secretary of this administration, the Weah administration, Mr. Cummings went on the OKFM show, if I can remember, and outlined some economic policy, both short-term and long-term goal for the country. The very first response from Sam Mane on the Executive Mansion website was, we are not here to sell Coca-Cola.
So you're trying to tell me that
So-
the president got a speech with him?
So, I don't understand if anyone will think that Mr. Cummings is not willing to help this administration, then they're not being honest. Because he outlined 15 pointers of economic policies, both short-term and long-term. And Sam Mane went on the Executive Mansion website and responded by saying, we are not here to sell Coca-Cola bottle on court. And Mr. Cummings also responded the next day by saying, running behind a football does not make you a better president.
Okay, Mr. Gilman, and you have something closer before we start to receive our calls from our. The line is open, ladies and gentlemen. You can call.
Yes.
And they will answer your question. So just be brief on your question and call your name and where you're calling from, and then we can continue the conversation. But while that, we stay into it.
Okay, just to elaborate on what he said, the ANC have a platform that was offered to the CDC administration if they wanted to use that.
They can go on there and use it.
They could use anything from that platform.
Yeah, listen to that conversation.
Okay, so that is available. Mr. Cummings and the members and officials of the ANC made that available to anyone. And people said that Mr. Cummings do not want to attend the conferences and the meetings. He already had prior obligations before he was invited to that conference, and he made that very clear. But he even made suggestions and referred them to the platform, the ANC platform, before leaving. So people should understand. And we want serious leadership here. We want a serious government for the people of Liberia. What happened to all of the discussion during the conference that were held? Nothing, absolutely nothing was done. It was just a charade, and this is unacceptable. We cannot just continue to push blame around. When you are the ruling party, you are responsible for all of the intricacies, especially if you graded the outgoing administration very highly and refuse to perform an exit audit. So forget about all the little crybaby stuff. If you do not have the professional experience and the technical acumen, then you need to let the administration and the individuals such as Mr. Cummings with the vision come in and move Liberia forward. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the line is open. You can call in and you can ask your question. But while we await your call, we will still be discussing your program, and you're the chairman. Just tell me again, for people who just joined, how is the preparation so far? Security-wise and everything. Because I know you're going to be busy on that day.
Absolutely. The program is on course. We got poster already printed. You can see some of the poster there. We got a letter drafted that will be going out to all parties, from the ANC-USA members to ANC global members. We want to honor everyone. You know, it's one thing to just post a poster on Facebook and say, welcome to my party. But it's another thing when you send an official communication to people. You know, you value them, you know, and so we will send, keep on the lookout, you're going to receive official communication from us, inviting you to the programs. And so, yeah, we encouraging all Liberians. And look on your screen right now, there is a flyer right there, our poster. The address, all the information you need to the event is right on there as well. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are inviting every Liberian in the East Coast. Every Liberian. Come on. Come with your question. Come with your suggestion. Come with your concern. Forget about you say, I say. Come. Directly pose your question to Mr. Alexander B. Cummings, the political leader of ANC, so that your question will be addressed. You know, we have heard, you know, people saying, oh, he does not come to ordinary Liberian. That myth will be debunked soon. He has been here, matter of fact, he has been to the Philadelphia area before. We hosted a program and he was here. And so I want Liberians to have the opportunity. Come and meet this man. You know, there's one thing to talk about him or see him on the screen. It's another thing to meet him in person. And then when you meet him, you will know that, yes, you have met a leader. You have met, you know, a man of integrity. And you will have the opportunity to actually pose your question. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not trying to, you know, present to you an individual with tinted characters. We are very proud. And all Liberians should be proud. You know, many people say nothing good can come out of Liberia. And even to the extent that some ministers have said Liberia is cursed. I personally do not believe Liberia is cursed. I think Liberia have had some problem with leadership. And at this time now, we are ushering to the Liberian people a fine and a distinguished leader who has an impeccable record. All of the records online. I mean, if you Google Alexander B. Cummings Jr., you will see his profile.
Okay, I got this question here concerning the CPP. And the CPP, people been complaining, and some members of ANC, I know you're not going to speak on behalf of the ANC,
Okay.
but I want you to give me your view, because people believe, and I listened to Bernard Ure interview. Call us, where you calling from, your name?
My name is Patrick. I'm calling from Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania.
Okay, you got a minute to ask your question, and one of them will answer your question, or you want to make a statement. You got the floor.
Yeah, my question has to do with your campaign coming. I would ask, how many counties have you guys reached in Liberia?
During the last, you're talking about during the last election?
No, not the last election. I mean, currently.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, the question was directed to Anthony. Will answer your question. So go ahead, finish your question.
Yeah, my question ended.
Okay.
Asking.
Okay.
All right, thank you, my brother. That's a very fine question. Yes, we have content coordinators. We have 15 counties in Liberia, and all 15 of them have coordinators now. We just had a mini convention where those coordinators were put in place, and all 15 counties in Liberia has ANC coordinator now.
You got his answer?
Yeah, one more question.
Okay.
To two of you, Money and the other guy.
No, I want you to answer him. I'm not promoting Cummings. I'm only I invited them on the show, so they will answer your question.
Okay. Mr. Anthony, why do you think Liberia should vote Cummings? Support Cummings?
Pretty simple. Part of the problem that we have had for many decades in our country is leadership problem. Liberia is not cursed, as I said just a minute ago. The problem with Liberia is been a problem with leadership. We have not been very fortunate enough to have great leaders, not just somebody that will just take a position with the name, but somebody who will leave a legacy, someone who will create an avenue that will curtail, circumstances with corruption. You cannot eliminate corruption, but you can reduce corruption. You can, put in place system to actually prevent people from doing the wrong thing. For instance, we've been rewarding bad behavior in the country. The amount of impunity in Liberia is so high. People do wrong things and walk free. With Mr. Cummings, those things will have situation that where people will have, to bear the full weight of the law. I mean, no one will be excused from violating the law. The code of conduct will come into a full swing in Liberia. Yes, we have a very fine code of conduct that will, birth out of Article 90 of our Constitution. But who implement those things? People are walking free. You see rapists. You see, corruption at the highest peak right now in Liberia, and those things will not happen under Mr. Cummings. We have seen his leadership role in a very high level, and so that's the reason why we are very confident that he can do that.
Okay, you satisfied the question with the answer?
Thank you very much for your answer. If you don't mind, let me ask one more question so I can leave.
Go ahead.
All right. During the election, I recall Cummings made a statement. He said we want our country back. Who Cummings was talking about when was Cummings referring to?
Very fine question.
No, I will allow Mr. Y. Can you answer that question,
Sure.
Mr. Y?
Definitely. Sir, thank you very much. That statement by Mr. Cummings was referring to all Liberians, inclusive of even the people that are part of the ANC that do not understand the indoctrination of what is going on, the embezzlement. We want our country back, a country of law and order, a country of respect and integrity. So this is what his statement meant by we want our country back. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for your time, my brother. We appreciate it. That was very civil and nice. Yeah. Okay, guys, the lines is open to ask any question concerning ANC. And I'm going to take a 30 seconds break. And please enjoy the music and just give us one click just to share that. Share it, please.
Hello.
Take off your shoe before you get struck by the thunders.
Sorry.
You are in the house of Mawu Patopa Osogbolisa. There is no fear. So my son, what can I do for you today in my shrine?
Many little islands know plenty. I want for them to be arrested. I want for them to go to jail. I want for them to be deported. I want for plenty bad things to happen to them. I want to hear bad news when they want to get out in the morning. Good. Good. Leave them on the beat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
T12 on the beat.
If you want hear my bad news, you and I, yeah, oh. Yeah, oh, yeah. If you want hear my bad news, you and I, yeah, oh. Yeah, oh, mama. God forbid, baba thing. God forbid, baba thing. God forbid, baba thing, yeah.
Okay, guys, thanks for coming back on the air, and I want to appreciate your time that you spend with us. And I got a caller on the line, caller 5900. Can you please call your name and where you calling from?
I'm Anthony Guy.
Yeah,
I'm calling from
Philadelphia. Oh, North Dakota.
Lamport.
Okay, yes, you live.
Yeah, but now, I saw the program online, so I decided to copy. But I'm not online right now.
Okay, but go ahead. You live your voice, your statement, your question you're going to ask right now is on live. So the people will hear you, yeah.
Thank you very much. I said before, my name is Anthony Dale,
Yeah.
and I have some questions for our honorable Elizana. Can you help me to answer the question?
Okay, go ahead.
Hello, honorable man.
Hello? Hello, yeah, go ahead. They listen to you. They listen to you. Ask a question.
My question is that you say you have your political party in Liberia.
Yeah.
The question now is that why you think the Liberians or the Liberians in general were elected as the president of the Republic of Liberia? Alright. And what have you doing or have you done for the country? Aside to be known as a leader of political party leader, what have you done for the country? With this question, please, if you can answer me.
Okay, you guys can take one. You're listening to the question, and you can take the first one. He won the Liberian people to vote for him. But what has he done to these people to say to convince them that they can carry him and he'll do better?
Absolutely. Thank you, Brother Gali, Mr. Gali, for asking that question. Mr. Cummings have been involved in Liberia for a very long time now. Mr. Cummings has contributed immensely compared to any politician in Liberia. Some of the few things I'll just outline, and you can do your research and you find out about those things. Mr. Cummings was before government started paying people wire fee, Mr. Cummings was the very first person that paid student wire fee. Mr. Cummings also donated medical supplies to 5 government-run hospitals across 6 different counties in Liberia. Mr. Cummings also bought a generator for Big Area right now currently running 24/7 electricity in Liberia. Mr. Cummings also, the AME University donated laptops. They have lab room now at the University of that AME University. Mr. Cummings also have recently, let me just shine the light on this, few Liberian entrepreneurs, young, vibrant Liberian entrepreneurs under the age of 30 who did a business pitch. They had a business summit. Over 100 of, I think 100 of them were at that business pitch. But the top 2 got awarded $15,000 in total. The top received a $10,000 just to boost up his business, and the second winner received a $5,000 United States dollars just to boost up their business. What does that mean? The men recognize that Liberians are doing the right thing and they're doing it. And the last thing I want to say, there was a school called STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics at Duper Road, also funded by ANC, by Mr. Cummings Foundation, not ANC, but by his foundation.
Okay, you want to throw light on that too?
Yes. My dear friend, one of the things that we as Liberians need to move away from.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, go ahead, sir. Okay, and the first person I spoke to you, he's the chairman of the ANC-USA Philadelphia and Delaware Valley. And the second person that answered you, he's an advisor to this body and also a member of ANC Global.
Okay, as I was saying, my dear friend, one of the things that Liberians need to move away from is the requirements of an individual Liberian to do something before being considered for a position in Liberia. You know, I think we should move away from that. The only qualification a person needs, or the only thing that they need, is to be qualified to do the job, not to contribute something as a condition. That is wrong. We should move away from what have you done for Liberia. You do not expect an individual to take their individual earnings and go do something for Liberia anyhow just to be elected. No. but you expect an individual to be qualified, and you expect an individual to accomplish a lot when they are in the position. So Liberia should move away from what have you done for Liberia. You don't expect an individual to take all his earning and go and do something for Liberia if he's not in a position to do it before being considered for an elected position. We should say instead, what can you do for Liberia when you're in a position? So we should move away from that. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Gali, you got, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you guys for your explanation. But to me, if you say that you elect you because they can do something for the people in the country, I saw we elected people in that care for no more. So before you go there, you tell the person, well, this is what I do and I want to continue. So for coming and you just said you do this, I mean, you do this, I don't know better. So I'm not been following your program to start for. So thank you for your explanation, but for me, it doesn't go down with me because when we let the people, senators, representatives, they go there, they like the time because I already there, and I'm going to talk to them again, I'm going to do all the development in the district or in the country. So for this reason, that's why I said, these are anything, but you explain to me a little bit, but it's not because you want to go into politics to ask you what you do or what you do. That's true. But once you are being elected, they will stand back against the people that elected.
Okay.
It's not happening in the Liberian society, in the Liberian politics.
Okay, Mr. Gali, before you go, Anthony want to say something, and you just want to give a closing stuff. Before you leave, I don't want you, Anthony got something to say. Yeah. Anthony Gay.
So Mr. Gotti, here's what I want to give you a flip side of what you just said. So my thing to you now is that if a person have done something for the nation, that means when they are elected, they shouldn't do anything again for the nation because it's like a prerequisite. You have to do something before you get elected. So part of the reason why we found lawmakers don't care no more when they are elected because they already have done something for the people. We want to flip that around. We want them to be accountable for the job they were hired to do. Because being an elected official, you are getting into a position to work for the people who got you elected. And that's what I want you to really think about. And any other Liberian who are following this program. Thank you.
Okay. And that's all, sir? You okay?
Yeah, yes, but I don't want to say no or yes. Okay, I pause to the time because I know that yes.
But what I want you to do, I want you to do your own research. Sometimes we don't follow these people, we only follow one person, but I want you to do your own research. Because sometimes maybe they give you the wrong information, maybe they give you the real information, but I want you to do it on yourself. And we should try to put do it for yourself and check about this person, know what they've been doing. But the biggest thing is that what can you do for your country? Because when we start asking people you got to be available. And when I say what can you do for your country, I mean you are available to work for your people. Because when we vote for you, you work for us. We don't want you because you gave us $10,000 and we voted you in. The next thing you're gonna go make the $10,000 before you start giving something.
Sorry, I'm not saying that you give money.
No. I'm not talking. I'm saying something that I don't want it to happen here. I agree with you. No. You are right. We vote for people and they go there and do their own thing. You are 100% right, sir. You are. I'm with you. You are right. Yeah. So we need to ask the question. We ask the question. The responsibility is to convince you. You know what I'm saying? That's their responsibility. But you have all right to ask any question concerning that. So thank you very much, Mr. Gali. I appreciate your time and your question. Okay, sir. So, and guys, you heard what Mr. Gali said, and he's right in a sense. But this the thing is, sometimes other people feel that when you see, because the way they started it, our former officials, whenever they are elected, they turn their back on these people. So now the little man in Liberia believe that, well, let me eat what I can eat now. Because when I elect you, you know you're not coming to talk to me. So which I agree, we need to put it aside. The law said that you got to be a Liberian. You got to be 20 and 35 years old. and some who have $25,000 property to run for president. But we need to get away from that. Everybody came out for greener pasture. After working, you go back home. Even our president left Liberia to play soccer and accomplish and went back home to give his service to his country. Likewise, Mr. Cummings and Bromskin and Bena Ure and Mr. Boyka. So that is the thing. But you are right again in a sense that we need to ask our politicians, what can you do for this country when we elect you?
Exactly.
Hold him responsible to his word, not to what you can do for me.
Exactly. Tell us clearly what you're going to do and how you're going to do it.
Yes.
So that we understand and we can compare you to the other candidates and listen to what they have to do.
Yeah.
But we don't do that. Liberians don't do that. We just jump around and dance to a song and select a person or vote a person into office because this person is our friend, because this person is famous, because we like this person, without even giving us what they're going to do. And then after the fact, we expect them to do something. That is wrong.
Okay, the lines are still open. We want you to call. Please call and ask some questions. Maybe there's certain things. Even people from the global, USA global, please call in and you can ask questions. And I hope that the working relationship is good. But we need someone. Oh. And how are you, my brother? Mr. Cummings, how are you? My brother and friend, I haven't heard from you in a long time. Well, thank you. How you sounding so, man? I'm not happy. Oh. You sleeping? You will never resign from politics. I will bring you on a retirement whether you like it or not. Until we can have that retirement program for you and we put it all over the air and we give you the certificate and tell you to go home. But for now, take a break. So I want you to come in. What you got to say to these two gentlemen on here today?
You know, only I didn't listen to the program from the beginning.
Yeah.
So I really didn't follow. But something, one of the your guests said, he said we need to look for qualified people who are qualified to do the job. Now, what I noticed over the years, repeatedly, is that political parties always talk about looking for qualified people. Bringing the qualified people on board. But you know, like America, like Liberia, when the qualified people leave from the diaspora and they go home, they start to play the different tunes. When you listen to them, they articulate well, they do their presentation well, but when you give them the job, they change. Take for example, 2005, the slogan we called was Liberia is a rogue state. Liberia is a pirate state. We took over in 2005, 2006. Liberia was a pirate state. Liberia was a rogue state, a failed state. In 1 year and a half, the slogan changed. Most of the people that came from the diaspora were qualified. Understand the rudiments, it changed. 12 years, we can't see the tangible of some of the qualified people who claimed that they were qualified. They were qualified, they were ready to choose the current objective. What I want to ask, I think it's the fellow in the baby blue suit. What can your party do to decentralize the qualified activities, the qualified people? Because everything we see today from political parties is like the things we saw in 1997.
Yeah.
It's the same slogan today. Political parties today are not institutionalized. They are built around individuals, and when the individuals leave, the party the qualified people squander resources to bring another qualified group in. What can the youth party, the ANC, do? Not only to attract qualified people from the diaspora, but there are qualified people in the countries too that could be superintendents, that could be mayors, that could be client chiefs. What is it that your party is doing to attract these people?
Thank you very much, Mr. Cummings, for such a very important question. First and foremost, I want to inform you and all Liberians that the ANC is not just a regular political party. This is an institution, a political institution. And as such, we are very much dedicated to strategic, dynamic policies, proper planning, and effective implementations. I think with those in place, we will be able to facilitate honesty and integrity. Strategic dynamic policies are going to allow people to bring in all different ideas based on the dynamic criteria in the world, changing environment, changing economic environment. And proper planning would be the project planning for everything that is undertaken, and effective implementation would be making sure that everything is implemented according to law. So that way, a qualified person will not just take advantage because they're qualified. The law is going to be there to prevent the status quo. So this is what's going to make ANC different from what's going on now. Thank you.
Mr. Cummings?
Yeah, I have two other follow-up questions.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, one, how do the ANC distinguish herself from some of her partisans who have different talk shows on Facebook that claim they portray the practice agenda, and there are a series of complaints, and I listen to most of them. I watch a couple of talk shows, and I see that it's like they are pushing the agenda of the party. They don't report for the party. Do the ANC have a form of communication mechanism to address and respond to issues that are circulating in the media? The second question is, with what is unfolding in the CPP, the political hula balloon, how do you see the ANC in terms of being a part of this collaborating political party? Will the ANC run as a single party come 2023?
You would answer the first part.
Thank you, Mr. Cummings and Evangelist Cummings, and thank you very much for that question. Unfortunately, within every group, within every society, there are very few elements, and minute portion of that element will be found problematic. Yes, some of the things that some people will say on a personal platform while claiming to represent ANC, at times disturbing. I must admit to that. But unfortunately, we have no control on the social platform. However, we have a structure in place for our communication base, and it is not an official communication with the ANC sealed, right? With the ANC letterhead. Then it does not come from the party. It comes from an individual who sympathize with the party, who is also be having to be a member to say some things. Unfortunately, it's just part of the dynamic that we have to deal with, which is unfortunate. We hope individual will desist from the kind of behavior and be very respectful, professional at all time, maintain the rule of law and integrity. That's what we ask. But unfortunately, sometimes we have this minute portion of the party member who will go on their own, claiming to represent the party. So that is very unfortunate.
Okay. And
You
Anything that has the propensity to derail the party's image?
We hope not, and we've been addressing this thing behind closed door, and it will come a point. Again, the media, the social platform is very vast, and we cannot control individual activities. Anybody today, you are a journalist by profession, and you can tell that almost anybody now is a self-proclaimed journalist. That's what is happening on the social platform. And what we continue to say is that if it's not an official communication from the ANC, don't take it serious.
Okay, we'll go to the next question. And
okay, and just to buttress what
he
Mr.
asked the first one. He answered the first one.
Yes.
What was your second question again?
The second question has to do with it's kind of laughable because somebody sending me a question for you guys as well. But here's the thing: the second question has to do with the CPP.
Yeah, the CPP. Yeah. Yes. What the?
Let me start.
And there's the political hula-hoop that is not taking place now that we, I had an interview with Mr. Ure. He pointed something out, and it became news, even though it constitutes news. But now I see Madam Selim making a comeback, and with the ANC, because some of your senators and some of your people have said no day, no time where the ANC stay within the CPP. But when we listen to Mr. Cummings, we see that he's flowing along with the
CPP.
The CPP.
Okay.
Is it clear that, can you convince your audience or your listeners as to whether the ANC will not leave the CPP? Is that something we hope to see come 2023?
Okay, thank you very much. The first thing I want to say to that question is that the CPP is an organization founded as a collaboration, meaning we agree to work together in principles. There's no documentation binding or defining specific criteria of how the CPP is operating presently. I'm sure negotiations are ongoing, but at this point, each individual political party will maintain its separate organization and promote its organization with integrity, and while collaborating together to make sure that we do not have this kind of thing that's going on in our country. Our country is going down the drain. And unless we come together to work together, this is going to continue. So we're going to work together as a collaboration, but nothing is written in stone. And we will move forward and see, the Liberian people will see who's going to emerge to be the leader of the collaboration. We hope that it is Alexander Cummings, because he is thus far the most accomplished in terms of skills and electability at this point. Thank you.
Okay, we'll take one more question and then we'll be closing up. But then it's not easy if Mr. Cummings, the president, we are friendly with Mr. Cummings here. That might be my mom live on. You, the way I'm friendly with you. And I need a Louis carry you. Because all the we are related to that. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, you said someone gave you a question to ask. Yeah, I want you to give that question so that we answer it. Then from there, you'll be the last for the day. I want to say things, man.
Let me see. Let me see. Let me pull your thing. Question ID. I think she's monitoring the program. Oh no, I can't see it. One minute.
Okay. So guys, and on my podcast, he came up and declared his intention, his support for Cummings. But you see, sometimes I said for Cummings, but sometimes it's so bad that we that try to support Cummings and the information we receive when we see people coming on and trying to take themselves so bad at them, like what I said, that you are solely responsible. You're the only person closer to Cummings. You make other people feel say, what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not going there because we want something. That I said, politics, it don't have to be interest to say you got to pay me. I look at your quality. I don't have to know you. I don't have to be your friend. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
But I want to see what you can do. That is why we decided to go after you and say, listen, this man can make the difference. I myself don't know Cummings.
Exactly.
I haven't met him. When my brother wanted to meet Cummings, he said to Cummings, I refuse to go. People have invited me to ANC media, I refuse to show up. But the fact is that yes.
Yeah, here's the question. I think there was something long a little bit, but what I gathered from you, the question is, where is the ANC as it relates to Justina Taylor? She said, I'm kind of confused, Jerome, I'm listening to you, but I'm kind of confused. Did the ANC took Darius Dillon over Justina Taylor? Can you guys respond to that?
Justina Taylor, Darrell Dillon did not replace Justina Taylor. The circumstances with Justina Taylor is a bit complicated, but it's been worked behind the scene. But Mr. Cummings have supported Justina Taylor and have also contributed to her medical treatment, as I've been told. I was told that he did, and so that is a good thing. But as you may know, that Justina Taylor, she was making some serious claim against the government before what happened has happened. So some of the matter also as well, we got to be very careful as to how we go about discussing it. But ANC did not abandon Justina Taylor. I just want to make that clear.
And to add to that, I want Liberians to understand that not because you are a political party, that means you have to be in matters involving the states or individual. Individual Liberians are already taking up the cause of Justina Taylor. It was not a political party that went and made sure that she was removed from that hospital safely. It was individuals through the effort of a distinguished talk show host, a Liberian talk show host, that told the people where she were. So, it's important for us to understand the role of political parties and the role of the Liberian population and the Liberian people. So that is the situation with Justina Taylor. Thank you.
I think Mr. Mooney, you said something earlier on with the Cummings thing. I know a lot of people follow me and listen to me. Lately, I came out with a very strong statement, and I don't want some of the listeners who heard that message from me that I would draw my support to all the presidential candidates, including my former boss, including my own family man Cummings, and the rest of them, because I'm going to be taking up some serious issues with all of the candidates come 2020, 2023. So I had to pull back. That would be the only way, the same way I was able to face the Taylor camp, the Salif camp, and the late Councilor Bronskin and others. I want to go back to that same position. So when I'm in, I can do what I do best. So I have to withdraw my support to all of the candidates. I wish them well, and I hope they'll have the strong media team to take on us as we discuss national issues.
And I want to say this. I want to say this so you Cummings, when nobody know you to be a patriot. I know the kind of person you are. I know what you stand for. Any day, anytime. You understand? That is what we do for our people. That is what we do best. That is why some of us will refuse to put our names on political party, because we want to speak freely and want to do the best for ourselves, for our country. So I want to say thank you very much for closing up with me. And I want to say thanks to the audience there. I want to say thank you very much. I appreciate it highly. Share this video. I'm with the two distinguished gentlemen. And you got Anthony Gay. He's the chairman of the program Coming to Philadelphia. And he's an advisor to this. I also want to say thanks for watching the LRTN. And behind the camera and producer is my friend and brother Anton and Prince Anthony. What I call you, Prince Anderson. Prince Joseph Anderson.
Yeah.
You know that I play name Prince. But LRTN is a Liberian owned. It's a non-for-profit. We cater to Liberians. We are registered in Liberia. We can do weddings from all over. We can bring in whatsoever you want. Be a part of this thing. Don't just sit there. Help the Liberian business and network to see how best we can collaborate. The Liberian Association, which is all part of the Liberian Association. But I will give 30 seconds to my friends for the closing statement. Please don't go more than 30 seconds. We want time. We're running out of time.
Sure. Thank you very much, the general in the town. Thank you very much, LRTN Network, for affording us the opportunity to have this interview. I want to say thank you to Mr. JY as well, and also thank you to all Liberians, those of you who have the opportunity to watch this video, and those of you who also join us. For all the callers who all called also to ask questions, I want to say thank you. Please come to our event. December 7th, it will be Mr. Cummings' birthday, and we're having an event at the Victory Harvest International Fellowship Church in the Philadelphia area. Please come. Patreon or VIP with $50 we ask, and $25 for ordinary member. Thank you very much.
Okay, my brother.
I want to take this opportunity to express my sincere thanks and appreciation to LRTN for such a magnificent program. I want to thank my host, Mr. Munir Kushen, and the distinguished gentleman behind the camera, Mr. Joseph Anderson, for a successful program. We are having this program on the 7th. We want to invite everyone. This is a town hall for all Liberians, irrespective of political party affiliations. Come so we can have a discussion with Mr. Alexander Cummings and to move Liberia forward. I thank you very much, and I thank you for tuning in and for all of the questions. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. This is my name. This is Munel Kishen, the General. And please, just share this video, and the General will be on LRTN for now. We will give you other information. And also thanks to my producer, my engineer, and also the president of the Sharing Foundation. His name is Joseph Anderson. Thank you very much, and share this video. Thank you.
P2Y2, Jesus' son. Vivian,
oh,
just praise on the beat.
oh my God.
My soul cry out to you, oh God.
Come on. You my rock, Papa, you are my strength. Hey, my strong tower, you cover me with your wings. I give you the glory. Your blessing forever, I will receive it. Hey God, come on, my defender, my strong tower. You never been like me. You got me in your place, so I will shout amen. Praise the Lord, I will say. Truly my soul. I will wait upon God. From He cometh my salvation. Truly my soul. Truly my soul. I will wait upon God. From He cometh my salvation. Yeah. Blessing me, God. You've been blessing me, God. Every day, Baba, yeah, you never fail. I give you the glory. Your blessings forever, I will receive it. My defender, let's go tower. You never think like me. You got me in your place, so I will shout amen. Hallelujah, yeah. And here's what I thank you for every